California is different, bro. I'll tell you what, they were trying to make an example out of me, I think. But anyway, big shout out to my homie over at Must Be Nice Donuts, man. That's what we're rocking with today. That's what we're gonna smoke on while I tell this story. We got a half gram of Feel Good LA in here, bro. Half gram of Feel Good. If you don't know Feel Good, some of the best rosin out there, the fact that it's rolled in this doink with some OG sour diesel rosin is just unheard of. So this story starts in San Diego, of all places. Not LA, where I currently live, and not Texas, where I used to live, which is like a very important part of the story, all right? So it's actually a little date night. I'm gonna set the night for you, fresh out of the San Diego Zoo, one of the best zoos in the country, and we're going to a little date night. You know, a little steak action, whatever, this, that. It's downtown San Diego. And the way downtown San Diego works, or really any downtown if you've ever been there, is there's really no parking for individual buildings, right? They're big ass lots. You kind of park there, pay for parking, and walk to where you need to go. So that's exactly what I did. Had the whip, parked it in a spot, went to get dinner, and as I'm coming back to the car, right, super full, just had a super fantastic dinner, I think I'm about to fucking get laid type shit, like, bro, we're about to go home to my place, you know, it was a great day. I open my car door, and as soon as the car door opens, you know, the light turns on the inside, a flashlight shines right at me from the back, and he shines the light, and he says, "I see the gun, don't fucking touch it." And I was like, I just immediately put my hands up and I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I'm walking to my car. What's happening right now? Like, what is going on? And this is an important time to remember that I'm from Texas, right? I'm a big Second Amendment believer. In Texas, your car is an extension of your home. So anywhere, anything that you can have in your house, you can legally have in your car as well. It's not like that in California. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely not like that. So apparently, which is why this should have been thrown out in the first place. Like, apparently this cop was just shining his light through car doors and saw that I happened to have a little weapon in the side of my shit. You know what I mean? He saw it and just waited there for me. Which I thought was illegal as shit. Like, as soon as he like started to like, you know, put me in handcuffs and do all this, I was like, bro, this is gonna get thrown out immediately. Like, I wasn't like waving the gun around. I wasn't being reckless. Like, it was tucked away. You wouldn't have even seen it. Like, you would have had to like literally shine a light in the door, and it's not like I was giving probable cause. I wasn't, bro, I have no idea how the case didn't immediately get thrown out. But apparently San Diego police have the authority to just search your shit when you're not even being there, which is insane, all right, which is insane. I slowly back up, they put me in cuffs. My girl started to like freak out. She's starting to like tear up a little bit. She's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you had a gun? And I'm like, bro, like, what's happening right now? I was literally sitting there, and I was like a couple drinks after dinner, you know. I wasn't drunk because I was, you know, I was chilling, but I was like, bro, there's no way this is happening to me right now, right? Like, I would understand if I did some dumb shit, but I just lived my life, walked to my car, and now I'm getting arrested. Like, this is insane. Now, also important to mention, because I'm from Texas, there are certain things that are legal in Texas that are not legal here in California for a weapon that you own. Listen, man, I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm plead ignorance. I was new here type shit. You know, I didn't know what I could and couldn't have type shit. But as soon as he takes my weapon, as soon as he inspects it, he's like, oh, he's like, this might be a little problem, buddy. And he immediately starts counting down all the violations that I have. And he hits me with, I think, 4 or 5 different violations for one weapon. I get hit with a weapon that's not concealed. I get hit with one in the chamber. I get hit with hollow point rounds, which are not legal in California. I get hit with a high capacity magazine. And I get hit with, the biggest one, an unregistered firearm, because it was registered in Texas. Like, everything that I just got hit with is completely legal in Texas. Like, if this same exact thing happened in Texas, the cop would be like, oh, nice gun. And then I'd go and be around my way. You know what I mean? But the fact that all this happened, and it was like he was asking for proof that it was mine, and I was like, oh, I can pull it up, like I got the records, because I do have the email, and I was trying to do that while in my handcuffs, like on the top of the car. The craziest part was, this like a Friday night downtown San Diego, so I'm on top of my car, handcuffed, and there's just a shitload of people walking by. They're shouting at me. They're like, free the guy. They're like, what'd he do? Like, fuck cop. Like, there's some love going on in the crowd. I don't think they know me, right? No one knows it's me, thank fucking bro, thank God no one was like, oh my God, Eric Kahn, and I'm just like arrested on the fucking, nah, hell nah. Thankfully none of that happened, but there's a lot of shouting, chirping. I remember specifically they called for backup. The second cop car comes and he's like, oh, this is a nice gun. It's a shame we're gonna have to take it. I'm like, bro, fuck y'all. Like, cops are kind of assholes like that, bro. They'll just yap because they know you can't say anything back, and like, they're just kind of assholes. They're like bullies almost. Like, fuck a cop, bro. But I can't say that fully, because to be honest with you, I should have gone to jail that night, no doubt. Like, those 5 charges on majority of people, I'm not gonna lie, like 80 to 90% of people, you're going to the slammer that night. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a nice guy. I'm a respectful guy. Yes, sir, no, ma'am, you know what I mean? Yes, sir, please, you know what I mean? Like, all that. As long as you're not a fucking dickhead, like, I could have totally been like, this is illegal, like, you can't fucking take that. I could have freaked the fuck out, right? And I would have 100% gone to jail that night. Like, no doubt in my mind. And he even told me, actually, he told me some really weird, crazy, fucked up shit, but it was just some cop speak, I guess. He was like, you know, you would be going to jail tonight, son, but, he said, you're not exactly who we're looking for. And I said, what the fuck? And I was like, wait, like, what do you mean by that, bro? Like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, well, we're in San Diego. We're right across the border. Said there's a lot of dangerous stuff that happens over here, which translated to me, like, if I was a little darker, I would have been in jail. 100% is literally what he told me. So I was like, that's pretty fucking nuts. But yeah, like a whole hour and a half ordeal. I'm just sitting there handcuffed. They're trying to figure out what the fuck to do. I'm like yes-sirring and yes-pleasing my way out of there. I think the funny thing, I made a little joke. I was like, yo, can I at least like snap a little pic while I'm handcuffed? And they laughed and they're like, no, you can't do that, man. Yeah, took my gun. At the end of the hour and a half, they look at me and they're like, you know what? We don't think you're too much of a danger. I think he asked me, he was like, you gonna be all right if I let you go? And I think I was 100% certain I was going to jail. Like, I was already telling the girl, I was like, yo, here's who to call. Like, you gotta bail me out. Like, I can transfer you money. I was already trying to figure out like the next 12 hours. Cause at the very least, I was gonna stay the night, right? Like, there wasn't any chance that I was getting out that night. It was already like midnight or something. So I was gonna spend the night there, 100%. It was gonna be my first night there. I already accepted it. I was like, yeah, like, I gotta do all this shit. And then he asked me, he's like, are you gonna be fine if I uncuff you and let you go? And I was like, I think I could've cried. I think I actually could've cried. Cause I was like, wait, I'm getting let free? Like, what the fuck do you mean? That's crazy, bro. You just hit me with some crazy charges. And he was like, yeah, whatever, like, we'll figure it out later. So they let me go. After that whole ordeal, they let me go. I have a charge, I got a court date, I got this and that, and I'm so confident that it's gonna get thrown out because, like I said, how you just gonna search me and like, I didn't do anything wrong, you know what I mean? But it is indeed, the way they explained it to me, they were like, if we could see it looking in the car, then like, we don't want a bad guy or a homeless person to like also see it, break my window, grab the blick, you know what I mean? Like, so I could understand, like, as soon as they explained it like that, I was like, all right, I did probably fuck up by having it. I didn't even know it was visible. I'm 100% sure if you don't have a flashlight, it would not have been visible, all right? Anyway, after that whole ordeal, I do indeed get to go home. We do indeed have some fucking, bro, that was like the most stressful, like, sex of my, you know what I mean? When you're just stressed the fuck out and you need to, like, beat something up, she got punished that night. I'm not gonna lie. It's not my fault, though. Blame the San Diego Police Department. Anyway, I get a lawyer on my case, and I'm like, yo, dude, this is some bullshit. Like, what the fuck was this? I'm talking to him on the phone about it, and he's like, yeah, man, we can get this figured out, no worries. I think I can get it thrown out. He does not get it thrown out, but instead I get put on a little diversion program, I think it was, which basically just means for 1 whole year from the date that the little contract started, I could not obviously break any laws, own, touch any firearms, do anything crazy like that in the state of California. And I also had to complete, I think, 30 hours of community service, and I also had to complete a gun safety course, just because, you know, I was being unsafe and stuff. And after all that happened, after 1 full year, that finally that 1 full year finally happened, because it was like months and months before they even saw my case, right? So like October, the incident happened. My original court date was for like January, got pushed back, and I think it finally happened in like June. Finally happened in June. So June, they give me the paper, and I think by the time July, like June last year, 2023, I get the paper, It's finally completed July 2024, which is just last month. Bring it to the court, bring all the evidence to the judge, and he's like, all right, your case has been boink, dismissed. I got a little text message from my lawyer, Jay. I was hyped, all right? I was pumped. I couldn't believe it. Which, I don't know, in my opinion, in the first place, it shouldn't have happened, right? In the first place, I shouldn't have even caught a charge. But the fact that I beat the case a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was really just the lawyer. I didn't really, like, do anything, I guess. I guess the only thing that I, like, did properly out of this whole situation was not freak the fuck out to the cops. Like, I feel like I see so many videos of people just escalating it, and I'm like, yo, you didn't need to do that, right? Like, you never know what can happen with some feds, bro. Like, cops have, like, this crazy immunity. They got a badge and a gun, an ego trip, power problem. Like, I ain't trying to be their friend, but I'm definitely not trying to be their enemy at that moment, right? Like, I ain't trying to be buddy-buddy with him, but if you're in some fucking shit, bro, if you're in some trouble, like, just shut up. Or be nice, right? Like, don't fucking, even if you're getting illegally fucked over, right? Like, I thought for sure I was at least gonna, like, get it thrown out. Maybe I thought they were gonna, like, push me into the car. I mean, catch a little charge, sue the city. I don't know. I thought I was gonna, you know what I'm saying? I thought some shit was gonna go down. I felt thoroughly wronged that whole time, but never once was I, like, screaming or combative or fucking just being an issue. You know what I'm saying? I feel like shit could have gone wrong 100%, especially with the, like, you know, the shit that was happening at the time, right? Like, they find a gun with no name on it and it's in your fucking car. Like, bro, nah, that's about as bad as it gets, bro. I thought I was gonna go away for some time. I was, like, thinking about Pine Park and shit. I was like, bro, this just started. I'm fucked. Like, I was like, wow, this is all really just falling apart right now. But it's okay, because here, later, we're good. I can finally go apply for a license now so I can carry in California. I heard getting your CCW is way easier than it was a few years ago, so maybe it's a blessing, you know what I mean? But now, my record's completely clean. The case has been dismissed. I'm just kind of vibing and living now, thankfully, you know what I'm saying? Moral of the story? Shut up, get a lawyer, fuck the police. I think that's, like, the best three things that I can tell you from this whole experience. It was cool, though. Nah, it wasn't cool. What the fuck am I talking about? Fuck the police, that whole experience. Like, the only cool thing was the cop let me go at the end of the night, which I think was against the advice of some of his peers, because he was super hyped about it. He was like, oh my God, this is my first gun charge. I think he told me that. He was like, this is my first gun that I've ever got from a criminal. And I was like, bro, chill out. Like, y'all act like I'm fucking gangbanging and shit. Like, they were treating me crazy, bro. I think they thought I was like a fucking illegal immigrant, like with some fucking bad stuff. I don't know, man. It's scary. It's scary out there. Fuck the police. Make sure you get licenses and permits for all your shit. Don't be silly. Read up on the laws if you move to a new place. You know what I mean? I definitely fucked up a couple times in this story, but I don't think I did anything like that. It should have been thrown out. I'm gonna stay 10 toes on it to this day, bro. Even in 20 years in the future, bro, I'm gonna be like, fuck that cop. That shit shouldn't have even happened, you know? But I'm grateful. I'm blessed, right? I'm still very grateful that nothing happened now, that I'm a clean boy now. I don't even got a misdemeanor on my record right now. I might owe a parking ticket or two that I haven't paid, but shit, kind of chilling, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's your story time for you. I'm officially free. Fuck the feds. We've beat the case. Let me get a thumbnail even. But yeah, anyways, I think that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm absolutely zooted. I'm only halfway through with this doink, but I just had to tell that quick story real quick. You know what I mean? I just had to let you guys know that I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I don't got no cases and no charges. I'm a clean individual with a clean record right now that's trying to just get some guns legally here in California. But yeah, shout out to the Second Amendment. It's crazy that you can't even have it in your car here. That's the craziest thing to me, bro. Or if it is in your car, it has to be locked away. And like the magazine's gotta be separate and shit. There's a lot of weird shit going on in California, man. I don't know about all that, but hey. Also, okay, we'll end it. Okay, we'll end this. We'll end it on a little bonus story time. So, as you know, part of that contract that I signed with the government, it was you cannot get in trouble for the next year for anything. I think it was excluding traffic violations. So you can get parking tickets, speeding tickets, whatever, but you cannot get like any other misdemeanor, any other charge, like, or they're gonna fucking send your ass to jail or upgrade the whatever. Yeah, it was gonna be bad if I got caught up again with anything, right? So, story time. I'm going to Rolling Loud, going through this separate entrance, like almost like an artist entrance, I guess. And I'm in the passenger seat, right? It's not my whip. but I didn't realize that the driver of this car had a little weapon on him, right? So apparently through the second entrance, like they're checking every inch of the car, they're bringing dogs around, and the gun gets flagged. And I'm in the passenger seat, it's in the glove box, so I start like, yo, listen, bro, like, if anything, like, I need to get the fuck out of here. I start freaking out, I'm like, wait a minute, like, hang on, I can't even be close to this fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to be associated with this shit. And especially because it was an actual sheriff at the venue, like at Rolling Loud, that was checking cars. It wasn't just a cop, it wasn't just LAPD, it wasn't just security even. Motherfucker had a sheriff badge on. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, I think I might be going to jail. But no, it's okay. It was super cool. Thankfully, that incident, I mean, it wasn't even mine, but that incident got cleared up fucking thankfully. They actually let us go. They're like, just drive it out of here. Like, I don't want to see that shit, which is crazy, bro. But, whew, all right, yeah, that one right there. Cause it was like, I'm not about to get hoed right now, right? I was like, I've actually been a good boy. There's no way I get fucked over on some shit that's not even mine. I was like, my shit was racing, bro. I was so high. I was thinking of so many things. I was like, bro, I was just trying to have a good night, go to Rolling Loud. I'm about to get arrested. Like, that just happens, though. I'm usually pretty cool, calm, collected under pressure. But every once in a while, you, like, start to get that, like, you just start to prepare. You don't start to freak out. You're like, all right, I'm getting arrested. Like, how am I gonna plan? You know what I mean? Like, who am I gonna give the bail money to? Like, what phone number do I have to remember? Like, you don't freak out, but you start preparing yourself a little bit for the next step, because you're like, I'm fucked. Yeah, I'm pretty fucked. Yeah, so I guess that happened twice. Thankfully, we've survived, all right? We've survived. I'd like to say that I used all my luck on blowing up on YouTube, but every once in a while, it pulls through. Every once in a while, it's like, you know, I could have had like a bad luck at the draw with that first cop. He could have been an asshole. The second cop could have been like, you're next to it, you know what I mean? And like some crazy shit. You know the law's always trying to fuck you over. Like, I'm not with all that, bro. I'm not with all that. I'm a good guy. I like following the laws, okay? Fuck the police, though. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be it for me, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want more story times, you're not gonna get them, because honestly, I don't have too many crazy stories. But that's gonna be it for me. I love you. I'll see you next time. Make sure to shut the fuck up and lawyer up most of the time. That'll fix your problems. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Woo.
Alright guys, Hatchcraft again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The off-season is kind of here before the World Cup, but Scrappy still is getting involved in a certain bit of drama, certainly with the optic scrims going down last night. Some interesting thoughts from Scrappy on Shotzi's playstyle. Lots of criticism at times for Shotzi, TikToked in all this up over the last couple of years, but he silenced the doubters for sure at the World Championship, winning the MVP and winning the entire thing. Scrappy, though, seemingly not quite so convinced at the merits of his play. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new, as always. I greatly appreciate it. Pretty sure this is Crim6's final race, by the way, of his season that he's doing over there. I thought it was just kind of cold as well, actually. You guys might not be able to quite see this, so let me make sure that you can. The top of his car, every tournament or every race that he's won, he's put the winner sticker on his car, and they're all kind of just like lighting up now throughout the season, so thought that was kind of cold. Just interestingly here from Treyarch, Black Ops 6 is coming around. They're talking about the mastery camos. I know that the camos, like, to me, the maps are like the most important thing in the entire game. The camos, it's like, okay, it's nice, but it is what it is. This is from Black Ops 4, of course, but there are rumors that, well, Treyarch say at least, their mastery camos are the best they've ever done. I've seen so much cool stuff on COD Mobile, like the camos they do over there. There's some COD Mobile gun with like an entire battlefield on the weapon itself. It's absolutely mad. And if they can do that on a mobile device, then surely they can cook up something pretty spectacular on a PC or a console. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Before we go further, quickly on the top 20 to go through the others, Cellium gets top 8 here, right? And of course there was going to be some debate on this in the replies, as, you know, whether Cellium should have been higher, because his numbers were basically the best, again, in the entire league. I mean, #1 LAN overall KD, #1 LAN opening dual win percentage, number 1 in terms of percentage of series with either a 1 KD or above, with 91% of series at over a 1 KD, and 81.6% of controls with over a 1 KD. So, you know, great numbers from Cell as always. But does that tell the entire story, right? That is always the question with Cellium. I think, as I said the other day, I had him at about 10th or 11th, I think, in my list. And maybe there's a bit of recency bias in play there because he was... Like, I think he was better at the start of the season than he was towards the end. I think that probably coincides with Drazah stepping it up, but it seems like, based on the voting here, that Drazah is going to be above Cellium. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he is, because Cell's at 8, and we haven't seen Drazah yet, so he's got to be up there, right? And I think that's very interesting to think about, because over the last few years, it's always been, oh, well, Cellium is like the AR for FaZe, and then their other AR isn't quite as good. But Drazah was really good this year, and I think that's the key question for FaZe going into the World Cup and potentially beyond, is that Cell was... You can argue that Cellium was the weaker of the two ARs this year. Now, the numbers don't necessarily point at that, but I think kind of the eye test and watching the gameplay makes you feel like that's probably a valid interpretation. Certainly, it seems like the voting felt that way. And therefore, arguably, Cellium's like worst year as a player. I mean, still, like, the numbers are great. Like, his Search and Destroy as well was great at the World Championship and in the stage before as well at stage 4. But, you know, kills per 10, damage per 10 wasn't really there in the respawn mode. And part of that was because Drazah was stepping up his play and actually played really well. But I think there's still a question on Cell as to how he needs to play, because for Cellium, in the early days of like Black Ops 4, let's say, he was a fast player. You know, he was aggressive. The same thing in MW19. That's not been the case over the last few years. And I feel like this year we finally started to see that, you know, the impact wasn't really there quite so much. And of course, I think the poor World Championship result also raised questions on what that looks like, right? But we had a Beezy.
Tickle. You're ridiculous. Tickle, tickle.
Do I have tickles? Do I have tickles? Oh, let's see here. Let's see if I got any tickles in here. Right here. You have so much hair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because it gets all in your face. It gets all in the face. Especially when you get all the tickles. Oh no! Oh, deep breath, deep breath,
Let's
deep
go.
breath.
Where is...
I love you. You gotta take breaths.
You're silly. You're hungry.
And then Emma.
I told mommy to bring.
How did Call of Duty really become a thing? I think you have to think game battles. There was a website called SOCOM Battles, which was a PlayStation game, and that was one of the first online tournament systems or online leaderboards.
SOCOM battles had become game battles, and they added Call of Duty 2 as a game on there. And then you would just kind of play matches versus other clans.
And as we started to see Call of Duty gain more and more players, those tournaments were filling up even more quickly than the SOCOM events.
There were maybe about 30 or 40 active teams with maybe like 250 teams signed up for the ladder. And then when Call of Duty 4 came out, it was such a big, massive hit that our game battles ladder went from having, you know, a couple hundred teams to having 40,000 teams.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Team deathmatch.
So COD 4 drops, and I was watching all the Halo guys straight off USA Network.
And Final Boss takes the game. MLG Pro Circuit champions, $100,000 richer.
Esports had gotten like bigger and bigger. Halo was like kind of paving the way, and you could tell like Call of Duty was sort of like going in that direction.
And we knew that while Halo is the big show at our big LAN events, this Call of Duty thing, we should start to grow a community for it on this website. There's a lot of appetite for it. There's going to be a lot of people invested in it if we keep putting resources behind it.
And then MLG was like, yeah, sure, we're going to give you guys an online PCL ladder.
So we called them PCLs, stands for Pro Circuit Ladder.
And that was like the biggest moment ever because you could actually be an MLG pro player.
Now, get ready for the next round.
So these online PCLs were these little mini seasons, and we had 3 of them that would lead up to a national championship.
When they did PCL 1, PCL 2, we won PCL 3. So that's when I thought we were really going into something. They announced Vegas as this first big tournament.
Played live at the actual Major League Gaming National Championship.
Let's put up $10,000, $15,000 for a national championship, invite them out to LAN.
That's sick.
So yeah, my name is Robert Assassin Walsh.
I am Fear Moho, and I was the leader and captain of Team Fear.
I used to play Call of Duty professionally, and that's what I used to do back in the day.
We're back, 2008 National Championships. Now, we had an online circuit this season for a game called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, and they are playing here for the first time ever live in an MLG venue.
Call of Duty 4, once that game started, I pretty much joined Fear. And the first 9 months of that game, we won literally every online tournament we played.
But if you want to talk about teams, Envious is obviously the heavily favored team going into this.
There was Envy, there was Fear.
Head Trauma was there with Buck.
My team was TBRE.
But Fear has played multiple games throughout the years.
You can't think of Call of Duty 4 without thinking of Team Fear. Moho, Assassin.
But if you want to talk about teams, Envious is obviously the heavily favored team going into this.
There was Envy, there was Fear.
Head Trauma was there with Buck.
My team was TBRE.
But Fear has played multiple games throughout the years.
You can't think of Call of Duty 4 without thinking of Team Fear. Moho, Assassin, Pac-Man, Choppy.
They're one of the most experienced teams here. Out of even all the Halo teams, they've been playing forever.
If anything, I'd say Assassin was the best S&D player at that tournament, in my opinion.
Choppy was insane with the sniper, man.
I think he was the best player in the game. He just didn't miss.
It was Crash S&D, and Choppy actually had the sniper rifle.
He was the only person that would pull the sniper out in S&D. Everybody else was terrified to do it.
And he was sitting all the way back of our spawn. I believe 4-player Truly Blessed, he pushed up to the middle helicopter, and I think Choppy sniped him right through the helicopter and like wall banged him.
There's a picture of us holding the check on the stage, like, that's when it hit. That's when, like this could be a future. If they're inviting us on the stage to hold up the check and stuff like that with the Halo players, we knew it was real, man. Like, it was just a really good time. We were ecstatic.
Just the feeling you get from just being the best of the game you play every day, it's just nothing can really top that.
Winning the national championship in Vegas was definitely...
That's sick as fuck.
It was a highlight of, you can go on and win other tournaments, but winning that was huge for us because we were on the front page of Infinity Ward. I had a different thought process back then. I always saw the future. I always saw like how to be bigger because I saw Halo, I saw what it's capable of. To see where it is now, compared to what we had to do, it's incredible.
That's dope.
In 2008, me and Big Timer played a lot of game battles matches together and watched Team Fear, the 2008 champions, win their tournament in Vegas. And we saw that and we're like, dude, what are we doing? We gotta do this. So in 2009, me and Big Timer started a team called Extravagant Icons. We had multiple different teammates through the year. We even teamed with Nameless. Shout out to my man Nameless.
And then you go into the second year and you get this like next wave of talent. Modi became very, very good. Sharp, unbelievable player. We had another guy named Halifax, kind of an OG. He's kind of an urban legend.
Oh yeah, that season definitely Sharp and Proofy. Those are the two players that stood out the most that year.
We're jumping on board with Proofy. He's been going off all match long. He is the most dangerous, the most talented player in the game.
Best team was Extravagant.
Wheats was a player in our team who was also a legend, but he couldn't go to the event.
So I ran games with Rambo, Big Timer, and Dodgers, and we worked pretty well. We meshed, and then later Envy was like, hit me up with a team offer, and I remember turning down that. I was just being loyal. I went to the event with Extravagant.
Here, guys, this is MLG Event Nationals Call of Duty 4.
We're coming to you from the hot, live Anaheim, California.
Call of Duty 4 Nationals, 2009 Nationals, was pretty awesome. It was actually at the legendary Anaheim Convention Center, which I think I can speak for everybody. It's everybody's favorite event, pretty much.
At the start of the day, which was the coolest thing ever, we were told that the finals was going to be held on the main stage, which is like the church of gaming is the MLG main stage.
And after doing our Halo Championship match, all of my energy was gone, but we had to get Call of Duty on the stage. For the first time ever, I was watching a game mode called Search and Destroy.
And guys, now we're going right back, it looks like, to Overgrown for Search and Destroy. And here we go, guys. It can all come down to this round. If Extravagant wins it, they will walk away as your last and final champions in Call of Duty. So
Sharp is looking hot right now. I think that was just his 10th kill he grabbed there, Puckett.
And Sidrock's taking down. Hastro's the last guy alive for Envious. Their tournament hopes ride with him.
And he's gone.
That's it.
Well, there we go. Extravagant Icons, your Call of Duty 4 national champions.
Winning COD 4 National Championship in 2009 was really kind of like the start of my professional career.
$2,000 back then, you know, was a lot for a 15-year-old. I think our prize was $8,000. We got to split it 4 ways.
We were playing for money before. We were kind of making a little bit, but like that was when really you got the feel for something special was kind of starting. Not only for me and my team, but also just for the scene. It started like it was basically like the start of kind of what felt like was going to ramp up into something bigger.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2 comes out, and man, the community just started booming.
On Game Battles alone, there was more Modern Warfare 2 matches played daily than Gears of War and Halo combined.
Not only was Call of Duty Esports doing good at the time, we had all the snipers coming in. People started making a bunch of YouTube videos. Call of Duty was like a cultural sensation.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Hello, everyone. I think the biggest thing for me from MW2 is like that's when like live streaming matches started becoming a thing.
Fwiz and Hastro, they decided, hey, can we start doing some online broadcasts?
Welcome back to Game Battles Live. Yeah, I'm your host, Fwiz, and alongside me is Hastro this evening.
And it kind of just started blowing everything out because everyone was like, it's just like a traditional sport. Like I can watch someone, there's people talking over it, and then you're watching the best people go and play.
Fuck
My
it.
team, I was on Extravagant.
Old
me,
Call of
Rambo,
Duty champs,
Big
they
Timer,
won.
And Sidrock.
Extravagant is going to be our online Pro Circuit #2 champions without ever dropping a game, Hastro.
I tipped myself on that. We were like 21-0 map count. Insane. And then we went from there into the national championship.
Welcome to Dallas, Texas for our national championships. Modern Warfare 2, their national championships will be taking place on Sunday with my boys Fwiz and Hastro broadcasting.
I mean, at the top, like the teams that come to mind, you had Envy.
It was AOX.
Yeah, I remember Extravagant being strong.
Those were kind of like the big dogs at the time.
Optic had a team there. Influence was always like pretty strong, but I felt like Extravagant was probably more of the favorite than Influence was at the time.
They had tournaments prior, right? So yeah, but nothing to where I would have thought that team would win.
So these guys are a young team, not very experienced with Pro Circuit play, but they have certainly proven themselves.
Oh, go, baby! I got nervous. I'll admit it. I don't know if I've ever admitted it on camera. I got nervous as hell. I was like 16 years old, playing in person. Then we got 3rd place, whereas we were like the heavy favorites going in, so.
Call of Duty Black Ops was the best Call of Duty for competitive Call of Duty in terms of everything being on an equal playing field.
Just like Counter-Strike, is really based off of very few weapons in the game.
We were all using the same gun, the FAMAS.
So it was 8 FAMASs at basically all times.
Another point for Fly Society. Nate shot there, comes up, hip fires, able to take looking for some markers, Oh, picking up one, 1, 2, two, and 3 huge plays. Come on, A domination. This is JCap at its
And
finest.
Black Ops 1 was going to be the first year for Call of Duty where all the events were going to be on land.
I think it was everything for the Call of Duty community because we had always been in like Halo's shadow, I think, a little bit. We always wanted what Halo had.
You know, I feel really stoked that Call of Duty Black Ops is on the circuit. The fact that we were finally able to get here is a really big deal.
I don't think it can be stated enough like how big that moment was when it got picked up on the scene.
So this is what it all comes down to. Our 6th event, the National Championship.
Heavy hitters were Aces Team Leverage and then
Envious and I would say Optic Gaming. I think those were like the big 3 that everyone was always looking at. I would just kind of sit there and watch everything every day. I would watch every scrim of every player of every team, and then we went into the national championship and the team kind of like wrote themselves off. Like we all kind of just accepted where we were, and I think it was very positive for us to kind of implode.
We saw the bracket and we felt like the bracket was like impossible for us. I think it was like we had to play Fear, and then we had to play Leverage, and then we had to play Optic.
So to them, I mean, it was about pride. I mean, we talk about this all the time in esports. Pride was the leveraging factor. You play to win. You play because you care about it. You want to be the best.
The hero up next, the hero once again. He managed to take one guy out. He takes Let's go!
It felt like the best feeling in the world. I still to this day feel like it's the best feeling I've ever had in my life. Was winning the national championship at 17 because the sacrifices that went into it, it was a lot of sacrifices.
I don't know, to me it was never about winning. It was always about having fun. And that's what it's always been to me. Like games, sports, anything is just about having fun, so yeah.
We had such a great team that year, and Mutation was the best Slayer in the game, and Virus was the MVP, and Vengeance was like the guy who put us on, so it just felt really good to do it with the day ones, the team that we started with.
We can all do our best to try to remember some of the craziest moments and the best times and the legacies and all that stuff. But sometimes it does take some type of like physical representation. Shout out to Sensor on going out of his way to make sure that all the guys got their own championship rings, because it's moments like those are the things that you put on your desk or put on your wall that you're going to be able to remember forever, and it's something that you can always look to.
If you look at the prize pools, like it wasn't really about the money, it was just about the pride of competing and winning and being the best, so those national championships paved the way for COD championships,
A lot of years, I mean, this is what we're talking, 15 years ago now. Been through a lot before that with my health, and then been through a lot since then with obviously different job roles, teams. It's obviously not easy to compete on a day in, day out. A lot of stress, a lot of happiness, a lot of highs and lows. But getting this piece definitely reminds me of what it means to do what we do and be in this state that we are with something great like video games and making a living off this. And
He's been able to get a spot in a battle. 1 versus 3.
getting to do what I love every day and the passion, it's very, very cool. So thank you for everyone for making this happen and growing this scene to what it is today.
That's fire. That was dope. All the old heads got their COD rings. That's sick.
Yo, Pam's hilarious. Pam's talking shit. He's like, you gotta be quicker than that. He's like, dude, his shit talk is.
He's like, I play World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I play World of Warcraft. I was like, that was a crazy chirp.
Don't check us.
Just checking his team.
Yeah, we were all like World of Warcraft. That's your shit talk?
Bro.
Welcome to the Optic Podcast, episode 186. Brought to you by Mountain Dew. Yeah, what's up with all that? Jesus.
What? All the shit at Bose's
Just
face.
like no one fucking cleaned that shit.
I mean, we had the Val tournament last night, man.
Yeah, it was fun. We have our sponsors, Mountain Dew, Cash App, and Shopify. We'll tell you a little bit more about them on the later part of this podcast. But so we had the console land, and you guys ended up winning. You were just bragging about how Salamander Man could go pro if he wanted to.
I wasn't bragging at all.
You want to though.
No,
in your head, you're like,
look how you're smiling.
Like, I still got it. I'm better than these guys.
Listen,
like,
man,
you're in your head. You're like, I'm more naturally talented at gaming.
Dude, no, I came into this thing to have fun, and I had fun. Mission accomplished. The win on the top was definitely a cherry. It was nice to win. Yo, Roger did say whoever wins gets a week off content.
Yeah, I know.
So you were out there. But once
So
you heard that,
I heard that.
I heard him, like,
starting tomorrow.
I was like, yo,
then I heard Ace.
Starting.
God,
All right,
I kept
listen.
saying, I need this shit.
Starting.
I need it.
Listen, look, it's Tuesday, August 6th, so you have off from tomorrow to Wednesday next week.
That's so fucked.
What?
Because I fly to Paris tomorrow with Oakley, so I won't even be home.
Wait, so are you
Olympics?
Yeah, I fly to the Olympics tomorrow.
You're going to the Olympics.
Damn.
Where are you about to go see the pole vault jumping?
No. So they sent us like a full
Wait,
itinerary.
why'd you say ooh like that? That we were talking about the guy that won.
Yeah, it showed me that video. I was like,
showed you what?
I'd have been pissed.
The Wang?
Yeah.
It showed you that.
What do you?
Well, nah, because Andrew and Denisa were over. We watched the House of the Dragon finale, and they were both like, "Did you see the pole vaulting video?" And I was like, "No, what is it?" And then I see it, and I was like,
This is like,
I see
look.
this thing, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? And she's like, yeah, he lost because of that. And I was like, okay.
It's like the guy that won. He was like, clearly, because you're not well equipped down there.
She didn't mean it like that though, but like I took it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like, what do you do if somebody sends you that? What if she said? What if she
ruined the night?
What if she sent it to you accidentally?
No, she showed it to me.
I don't
on
know,
the
but what
couch.
if she sent it to you accidentally?
Or you looked over and she's watching it.
I just like, wait.
Yo, so are you guys big Olympics watchers?
Something.
I don't feel like I am. Like I could give a fuck.
I mean,
less.
I've just been watching men's basketball.
I'll tell you when I cared. When Fred Curley from Oakley Camp, remember that we met him?
Yeah.
He was in it. He got bronze.
Really?
In the 400.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watch a good amount of the Olympics. I wouldn't say a good amount. I watch a little bit. I watch the events that I want to watch, like tennis, basketball, soccer.
Tennis, basketball, soccer.
That's really all that I've been watching. I watched the 100-meter yesterday when Lyles won. That was dope. Or 2 days ago, whatever it was. That was dope. So like I kind of just pick and choose events. Like
I feel fake not having watched a single second or any video recapping of the breakdancing competition. I'm gonna be honest.
There was breakdancing?
There's breakdancing in the Olympics.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
See, I didn't even know that.
And they spin on it, or
no,
is it actually
that's the horse.
That shit was cool.
Is that
I
what
was
it's
watching
called?
that.
Gymnastics. I watched a little bit of gymnastics.
I can't get with it. I can't get with just gymnastics.
Gymnastics, all right.
You didn't watch Simone Biles?
No. I mean, I saw highlights. It's impossible to avoid her. Right, so I did watch her highlights, but I didn't go out of my way to like keep. I don't have any alarms on my phone saying it's like, yo, this is about to start.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's my issue. Is like there's certain events, like even the Noah Lyles winning the 100-meter. Like I saw tweets and I was like, "Fuck, did I just miss that?" I think I was like watching recaps while that was going on. Like I don't know the schedule.
Dude,
I mean,
I
that shit's
saw
so
that
fast too.
There's so many channels of like.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I didn't know like which one to click. Like
I just
I
watched,
was
like,
watching the wrong shit, and then I missed that.
They have like a red zone type channel on YouTube TV that
Really?
you can,
that's pretty
they
cool.
just recap all the events, like so you can watch the events live and they have them live, and if you miss them, if you just tune into that channel like at night, they're just rerunning like it's like ESPN for the Olympics basically, but they're like covering everything, like every important thing, even if we're not in it, like. If Italy's versus whoever in a
Of
gold
course.
medal match,
Yeah.
they'll like show it. You know,
Did you
it's
see the rock climbing girl?
Nah.
Bro.
There's rock climbing?
It's like the not actual rock, it's like the fake wall.
Yeah.
Bro, she scaled that shit in 6 seconds.
Oh yeah,
that shit's
different.
Like that shit was crazy.
That's what Flame's trying to get
I'm
into.
out there like calculating, like, I fucking hold
bro,
this.
they'll be like ran up the wall.
Yo, this is doing that. What I'm afraid of is that I'm gonna hold on to the wrong thing, and then my nails are gonna peel off. Just my nails.
I'm sure they probably don't have nails.
Why do you think about it like that?
Because
bro,
it's
it's my thing. You know how people scratch on the board? Like, that's not my thing. When I was skateboarding as a young kid, I was skateboarding barefoot in Juarez, and I hopped off the skateboard to stop it, and then my big toe fucking got hung up on something, and the nail went up. Needless to say, that's the last time I skateboarded. Oh, no, I skated the electric skateboard.
Last time I skateboarded was when I fell off that shit. My shoulder's still fucked up. Yeah, the boosted board.
Oh yeah. Damn, boosted board.
That was quite the
fuck out of that.
You,
Yeah, the boosted board was
really
the
thought you
shit.
were Casey.
Yeah, dude, everyone
did.
Yeah.
I was flying.
Listen, the thing is like, I don't think it was.
We're doing what? Queso was chilling. Watch for me get down on some bow.
That one piece of pizza just fucking revived me.
Let me know if y'all are committing. I can come back.
Yeah, no, I got pizza. Look at Formy's chat.
They smoked this.
One day, Formy's chat.
Randomly tapped. 47 raise. Wow.
She's smashing
I mean,
that now.
Showers raised.
Nothing out B. Oh, geckos.
I don't know.
I just ducked IRL so hard. You can come back B. It
I
should
don't
just be the gecko.
I cannot. You just don't want to. No.
You could be close. Keep flying.
Your mommy needs the remote.
What the hell?
Close. Nice. Good chat. I'm smoking in CT. Just give me a sec.
So crazy.
That man is nuts. Whoa, that was crazy.
Nope, I'm not throwing this.
I fuck with that heavy, bro. We need to trim.
I think both 100% both.
Bro, this shit is crazy right
So they
here.
still got it in their bones. They've still got the potential.
Oh, man, you killed me.
Yeah, that's 2 total. Woo! Wahoo! Now, they did win that round, too, that they got the opening kill last week.
You're a murderer, man.
So,
I don't know what to tell
maybe
you.
a good sign heading into round 2. There are still 50 seconds remaining, though, for Wildcard to work the vert. They've got Deimos. They've got Hush, they've got Aimkey trying to walk up the
Good
staircase
aim.
for
Oh,
whatever
good.
reason. Now
God
he's
bless
dead.
you.
Castle
Good
Barricade
shots,
Labyrinth
though.
being
Good
dealt with by
aim,
the
good
nades
aim.
as well. It looks like maybe Candle wants to ascend one of these staircases. They've got to try and do something to knock Wildcard off their game. There's only 25 seconds remaining, so at the very least, the time has gotten
got that
fairly
Deimos
low.
on
But
him.
Candle, they've got full info on him thanks to the Deimos. There's the pre-fire from Spiff. The wall hacks work for him, and Spiker trades out Moscow, giving Wildcard a 2-round advantage.
That's wild.
A lot of these rounds are kind of just meshing together. There isn't anything to differentiate from them. Thrive did something early on, you know, the spawn peaks. Didn't really get anything from that. And then it was just the same old, same old. Wildcard, and use their utility how they want. Yes, Skunkies gets that kill. And, you know, the Looney Tunes situation happens. But it's still Wildcard who have all the time. They've got all the utility. There is no opposition.
Bro,
coming
I'm
out from
old.
front. That's what you need to do as the
I'm ready to
defense.
go
You
to
need to make it so
sleep.
that the attack never truly feels comfortable with what they're doing, and that time is their enemy, not their ally. That's what the sixth man of the defense is. Time. It's a traitor. It's a Benedict Arnold right now because Wildcard are using it perfectly. They're saying, hey, yeah, there's 2 minutes left on the clock, and you've got a man down. What are you going to do with that? I don't do anything about that. There's a serious issue with this team. And so far, in those first 2 rounds, just nothing being done about it.
That was a theme of Chalet, too. Wildcard were doing stuff, and Thrive didn't do anything about it. Now round 3. Guess what, V? Thrive have to extend.
Wow.
Now they did get, again, they got a kill off their extension last time. See if that ends up being more on this round. At the very least, they only have to worry about, well, you kind of do have to worry about 2 floors because they could go below and they could, work vert if they had a Buck or a Damos. But they don't, so technically Thrive only have to worry about 1 floor to extend on. Maybe that'll simplify things a bit for them. They've got that Mira, who I believe has at least one window upstairs. They've got the Azami Kivas. They've got the Mute Jammers to try and deny info. The Bandit is being circumvented thanks to the Maverick, however. And Bosco, it sounds like, has finished his job. Ash will assist him.
Fall
wow.
damage.
I
Oh
can
my.
confidently say I've never seen that before. That's a first.
I didn't know if he was gonna thread the kneel or not.
That was awesome.
That was insane.
And we'll never see it again.
That was nuts.
Well, the thing is, Bosco did his job too. So even if he dies, it's got the wall up. What's it even matter? It's just a body.
That was
enough.
wild.
Really what Thrive need. They just need kills. Get some wildcard players off the board. Make that 3-2-1 that wildcard is so good at a lot less effective, because when there's less bodies, there's less angles that you're gonna have to worry about. Wildcard, they've been very fast with their attacks. Hasn't been the case so far. But a minute 15, Rampy's just gonna rush in, somehow perfectly avoiding line of sight. The Blitz will come on in, get that kill, 4v4.
Twist ends up team killing Skunky before Candle walks in for the refrag. That was a little bit unfortunate. I think Twist trying to floor bang the Blitz or use some of that verticality. Just missed his shots a little bit, but Skunky was a dead man anyway. Spiff also now 22 HP as he almost gets killed by the same verticality that claimed Skunky's life. Now 4 versus 3, 2 players on this attack. Very low HP. Candle in the perfect position to stop Bosco's jump in, and it looks like Thrive are about to get on the board a lot earlier than they did on map number 1. It's all up to Spiker against 4 players. Diffuser lost in the bomb site. Just over 20 seconds remaining. That's about 5 seconds to get each of these kills. And yeah, it probably ain't happening, folks. Reaching charge goes out, maybe a bit of a distraction. Spiker at this point just looking to pad his stats. He knows the round is lost. Thrive knows the round is lost. Why not swing? Spiker doesn't end up getting a kill. Moses shuts him down, and Thrive have their first point since round 5 of last map.
Yeah, there you go. I will say there was an awkward round for Wildcard. From Bosco just making a big leap down below to the attack not really hitting its marks. The 3-2-1 didn't have its full effect. And I think it's because it really wasn't a 3-2-1. There was a lot of just small delays in that attack. So when the Blitz was pushing on in, which initially seemed like everything works out perfect, you barely slip under the Azami's gaze, there's nobody else to really have your back. The Thrive were able to get that one, fall back on each other. Something that I will say, it doesn't feel like that was exactly Thrive's good play. Like, it was basic play, as it was just Wildcard having a little bit of off with their attack. And so far, that's just been a bit of a trend. I mean, the only couple rounds that Thrive have won, besides the one they just did previously, was Wildcard having an iffy attack that they probably should have won otherwise. That's the name of the game. It's Wildcard who are in control of their own fate.
Are they?
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yes. They are.
Thank you.
Food for thought. Hungry. Anyway. Assembly tank for Wildcard. Big extension all the way upstairs. Thrive focus on the site for now, because they've got Thatcher, so they're very easily able to just go ahead.
Bro, I'm just learning.
There's no active
Is
tricking
really
or
what I'm
anything.
here
I
to do.
believe. I don't
not
even know if they had
really-
jammers on it at that point.
I
I
like
don't want
this
to waste
game,
it.
but
Use
it
it for the
is
extension instead.
hard.
At the same time, Thrive are setting up their clear, getting their drones in, getting
Super
Twist
difficult.
in. Is top Aqua. Probably just waiting again for more info for his teammates to set up on the other side of this map to work this pinch. He's obviously not going to try and go in alone. And Candle catches Rampy. The Legion is dead, and Spiff gets found on drone.
That was insane.
A perfect 1-2 punch from Thrive, and another set of opening picks. Is this enough for a second point?
They're taking a lot of damage, but he's able to get on the Candle. It's clear that Wildcard have lost control of that top floor. Remember, this is a basement site. Losing control of the top floor, that's step one done. You still got to work through the first floor, which all of Wildcard is at. There is essentially nobody inside of that actual site. Using that vertical can be a huge thing here. He's just going to barely miss the players who are obscured by the natural geometry. If Moses really wants, he can just go straight into the site and plant. I say do it. You want to put the pressure onto
they just come from
Wildcard,
top on
who are
this.
right now just waiting for the attack to happen. And the longer you wait, more that's going to happen. And Thrive turned a great situation into...
We got what? Deimos, Ash.
2 kills for Wildcard, 1 Spiker, 1 Kansan. No response from Thrive as AMP now makes his way into the building. He and Skunky are both still outside when those kills came through, and they have literally no info on Spiker. Finally, he's shut down. Skunky kills him, but now he's stuck in a 1 versus 2. At the very least, he doesn't have to worry about the Solus shooting him from above. This whole ceiling is hard. Kansan could still feed info to his teammate. Instead, they both double up downstairs, looking to take the direct 2v1 against Skunky, who's repositioned himself inside, not Exo. I keep forgetting the name of this room. Instead, he just jumps through, tries to pre-fire, has no idea what he's looking at, and Bosco shuts him down. You have to wonder, Skunky, why go for that play? They had info, they had a ping on, not a ping, but I think they had info on one of them. He went for it and he lost. I have no words.
That entire 4v3 just seemed like kind of closing your eyes and hoping that you get things done. And they had such a good situation, but it seemed like they just lost all the information they needed to. No idea whether the site was clear. You can tell with the apprehension of Thrive. No idea where the players are to tell what happened when the actual time to execute came. And Thrive have been very good at information at the beginning of round, when they get a lot of their action done. And say the same about the late. A lot of their drones get taken care of. They don't have bodies, nor do they have gadgetry to actually use for that information. So instead, they're just
this game is so
hoping
good.
that
It's so
wherever
much.
they free fire, whatever angle they take is going to be exactly
The
where
gunplay
Wildcard
is fun.
player
If they had a
is
game like
hanging
this that
out.
was gunplay,
And
like
that's
you
just
didn't have
not
to
a good way to
bust
play. It's
or use all these
incredibly
tactical
risky,
fucking
and you are
things.
just hoping
It'd be pretty
that
sick.
a roll of the dice is going to
You're
get
in
the
a
job done,
house,
and you're playing against a
and you're
pro
just
league
kinda-
team. They've got their shots. They've got everything they need to.
Yeah.
You're not going to have
I
a
guess
good roll of
this-
the dice against this team.
in the respawn mode.
By the way,
But even then, that's kind of
I
whack.
always
That mode is
forget,
kind of whack. I
like,
don't know.
in the moment, and then I remember, and I'm like, man, it's Nano. I don't know why I always forget that. Yeah. Nano machine, son.
That doesn't make sense, but whatever.
It's a jump joke. I'm sorry.
Great gift. I'm surprised we haven't seen any of these drones get jammed. Thrive seem to have like complete freedom of info on this top floor. They had a drone on Spiff earlier, who has since pushed up to fight against Twist, and is now running out. Doesn't net anything, but Kansan does get the kill on Skunky. It looks like Kansan may have gotten that kill out the storage window, I think. That's the only place I could think of. Maybe Skunky as Bravo was just holding a cutoff there. Aimkey looking to try and deal with this Kiva barrier with his buggy drone. He does get it. Worry about. Now trying to take the fight. Has to worry about multiple angles. Does end up killing Rampy, and Twist follows it up before he dies himself. Candle now with a man advantage for Thrive. 3 versus 2. Kansan and Bosco with a minute left to delay and one singular boogie for Aimkey to try and destroy the ceiling of this site.
Is the boogie utilized with best ability? See you later in the round. But you take this trade. If Thrive right now, as they are, down 1-3, get top floor control, up a body as well, this is probably one of the best situations that you're going to get. Candle's going to step on a Goon Mine, going to be able to take that out. If only you can have a good angle onto that doorway. Candle gets that kill. That's huge. It's going to open things up wide open.
Hansen does find the man upstairs, but another kill for Candle. 3 for potentially the best username in Siege on the Thatcher. And finally, maybe he's waking up. A second round now for Thrive. They've doubled their point total, V, from last map. Look at that. More quick math.
They got to do it 7 times, though. Double ain't enough.
What? Oh, I thought you meant they need to like double it 7 more times.
No,
Well,
they
I
need
guess technically, yeah, because they need 14 rounds to win like the series. Although, I guess unless it goes to overtime. Yeah, never mind. I don't know what you're.
Take it one map at a time.
Okay.
Don't worry about their map. We'll talk about Skyscraper.
I am
if
worried
we
about
get
the third.
there. Thrive or not, absolutely not. Like their backs are up against the wall here. 7-1 in Chalet. I've doubled their round count, as you said. Now get even 4-2 attack. That's fine. You know, you're maybe sweating a little bit given the situation that Thrive are in, but a 4-2 is normal. Hop back on the defense, maybe make some small adjustments as to what you can do. Hope that Candle now 6-3 can get some things going. As so far, Twist still combined. He's 4-10.
Yes, you are correct.
That is incredibly low for what I think has been one of the most important players on a team in all of it.
Hopefully Candle can continue, try and pick up that slack. Moses also doing okay. He's +1. Thrive setting up to try and open this wall. There is an active bandit trick from Bosco, something that Thrive probably know about by now. Able to get him off at least one side of the wall, and the anti-trick is successful. However, the denial of the impact trick is not there. So as soon as the first ace gets opened, the impact comes out to deny the second, and Moses is dead because he tried to just jump into electrical. I don't really know what the play was there, but now you've got exactly one hole opened up for your entire team to get through. Candle is going to attempt to get aggressive, does catch Kansan, and gets the follow-up onto Rampy. The refrag attempt denied by Candle. A third potentially coming through. Spiker wraps around the pillar to kill him. Skunky and Smith trade each other out. We're still even at 2 apiece, but Twist will now put Spiker in a 1vx.
Wow.
I hate it when teams rely on singular players to get the job done, but when it gets the job done, that's all that matters. You have the ping going on through. Spiker can peek. Does a lot of damage, but not enough to take a body.
He does take Aimkey's head. 17 HP for
they
Twist.
making this
Eagle
time?
out, but Twist takes his head off. Spiker, a valiant attempt, but gets a little bit too aggressive and wants to end the round right then and there, probably feeling the pressure of the pings. And Thrive tie the half. 3 apiece on their attack of Labs. So that's pretty good. Attack on Labs is typically the harder side, but again, their extensions have not been great. So it's give and take, right? One, they should have probably taken more rounds on their defense, and we need their extensions to look better. However, they're still in the game thanks to that attack.
Lion.
Yeah. Especially Candle getting the kill onto Rampy, the Wamai on that side. I think it's the only reason why the attack is able to work. Candle kind of cracks it open like a can, where he's able to allow a lot of more players to walk in through IT, giving them that safe space. There is the Azami over on Rafters, so there is a little bit of apprehension. But you still have a play to work on. That is what Thrive did not have in Chalet, and so far they've got that. in this map. I think that's 2 rounds now where Candle has really just busted Thrive's defense, made it so that there is a game to be played here. We're all tied up, and fingers crossed, it's enough for Thrive to finally get themselves ahead in the league.
Finally seeing Thrive do things that Wildcard don't expect. And that is walk in and kill them. Thank God for Candle. I mean, again, what was Moses doing there? You are ace, my brother. You just jump into electrical and die with no info. Thank God for Candle, able to make his way through IT. So, Servers comes out once again for Thrive. This is how they started the match. This was round number 1. And they got crushed. Plain and simple. Wildcard were incredibly deliberate with their push. They were very diligent in opening pretty much every possible angle that you can on that site, and there was nowhere for the anchors to sit. Now Thrive, again trying to throw a bit of a wrench into Wildcard's plan. They bring Pulse into the mix. Now, there is again a Deimos. If Wildcard spot out that Pulse, Moses could be easy picking because you don't necessarily normally on this site have someone teaming with that Pulse downstairs. You could be on an island. However, if he can stay hidden, this is a C4. Potentially multiple if Inky is able to rotate down, waiting to happen.
I wish if there was a way to. I don't know if you're like.
I'm
you're
okay, baby.
spectating the Deimos if you have the little HUD thing that he has.
I forgot
The way
you
that
sent him
Moses
on
is
the side.
playing, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's on a drone right now.
There we
so
go.
you
They
do.
don't.
That's huge.
Making
Moses
a
was also
puppy this
playing
time?
like he was not hidden. So beautiful from Threat. There's no way that they would know a player has been basement unless they want to dedicate their drones, which is going to take an extra 20, 30 seconds, of which Moses is going to give all that information. The rest of Thrive is going to get things done on their defense, continue to waste time, utility, take bodies away. Moses is such a key player in this position. We got to keep our eyes on. Great shot from Spiker.
The one other C4 from Inky, he ends up deciding to use it to deny the breach, but what a shot from Spiker to help that wall get open. And they've got info in the middle of the bomb site. This is massive for Wildcard. If they're able to storm into the bomb site and kill these anchors, that pulse from below might not matter in the end. They can nullify this guy if they take a big enough advantage here. And Spiff with the floor bang onto Twist, the mute is now dead. Moses forced to rotate up as Spiff gets another kill through the floor. And he might know about this flank. Tracking the Warden now. There's a drone right next to him. Finally, Moses will make his presence known with the kill here, but Skunky is still alone on the bomb site. And Wildcard are very aware of it. Skunky able to get the kill on Bosco, looking for another. The pre-fire works, but now he's the last one left, and he's stuck in a corner. Wildcard know where he is. They can take this cross in the 1v2. B's coming out. They know he's moved, but to where? Kansan looking for the wide swing over the monitors. Skunky doesn't know where to look. And Wildcard claw the round back to take a 1-point lead.
That's that guy's name.
Wasn't in the right areas. Solus would have been great. There's a lot of what ifs in that round. The information that Wildcard had, it's so good when you actually come to initiate, because you don't really need everybody. All you need is that couple players to apply the pressure onto the defense, get those couple kills, which really opens things up on the attack. I think Wildcard played that perfectly. It's not exactly the 3-2-1 that we saw in Chalet. It's a little bit more delayed, but it's a lot more tactical, in my opinion. You've got that information, you can make decisions off of the live information, and there's really nothing that Thrive can do about it because they had no idea. They didn't have the Solus. The mute wasn't enough to contain the drones. They probably thought that it was. So instead, Thrive have to, once again, come from behind. They're going to stick to the basement, which is actually something they haven't done, Harrison. When they lost in those first 2 rounds, they changed sites both times. Went from server to basement and then to storage when they finally won. I think,
Wow.
Oh no, they did
Okay,
go down to basement.
okay.
Never mind.
All right.
We tossed out my entire point. I have no idea.
All good. I forgive you. I'm a benevolent partner. That was, I still can't believe Spiff got
That's right.
two
I don't
kills.
have to.
Like one? Okay, sure. Great work. Two? That's crazy. And he didn't even use the Deimos tracker either, I think. That was the drone we saw in the bomb site. Now, Wildcard, who, as we've seen so far, have been making incredible use of their info on attack, have even more with a Jackal. Kansas now picked him up. Moses. Pulse is on the roam. He's on first floor, trying to assist more of his roamers, gathering that info on the players up top, but he does, of course, have to be very careful of Garage as well as his window. He saw the buck drop down, but not going to be aggressed upon, at least not yet. Wildcard now turning their attention to the site. I think with how big of an extension is, they'll try to rush in, but Bosco suicides with the thermite at the very least. No one else has fallen. Into the bomb site they go. Spiff catches Candle, trying to retake through. Goyo Fire will force him off. But Rampy has the case, and he's pushing deep into Nano, looking for more kills. Ainke dies with a C4 in hand. Spiff is getting active. Rampy, of course, Nano is not the bomb site. He can't plant here, and Twist shuts him down. 3 versus 3. Spiff now dead thanks to Twist. And Thrive have a man advantage. You have to think if Bosco doesn't kill himself with his own thermite, this would be an even man count now. And perhaps Wildcard don't feel as pressured to take the case in deep. But it is what it is. And now Kansan is stuck in a 1 versus 3. Twist is good for 3 kills. Moses dead. We've seen Kansan in plenty of clutch positions before. His success rate higher than most players. Twist now softened up, 68 HP, a drone to watch his back so he can start to push through. He still has Inox scanners as well. Not seeing any footprints for now. Both players, all of their movement has been on the other side of the bomb site. So he doesn't have much info to work off of. Both these last defenders are playing this perfectly. We've got a crossfire on this case. Kansan is going to have to be the aggressor here. Neither Twist nor Skunky giving him opportunity. And finally, Twist will put him down with the shotgun. And Thrive tie the score once again.
Man, if I'm Wildcard, I'd love an extra body there.
Oh, that's why.
That-
Fucking, you're getting double audio.
We get a wow. That's impressive.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
killer, because you think without Bosco dying, you're able to immediately get the kill from Spiff. Shut down a good amount of pressure from the defense, and suddenly it's a 5v4. You've got great control of site. Granted, there are a lot of fire on the ground, 2 Goyo canisters, but you're in control. And that's something that Wildcard have mainly had throughout this entire series. I think that's started to slip, especially with Thrive having 4 rounds to their name. But overall, this has been a Wildcard game, and slowly but surely, they've made these mistakes. I talked about how the game really is in their control, their fate is in their hands. And I still think that's true. I still think they have made mistakes, but Thrive have slowly started to come into their own. Is where we're starting to see Twist finally positive. He has been struggling all day, 8 and 5, come within those last 2 rounds. He is really starting to get things done. That combined with Wildcard having some mistakes, there is definitely a case to be made with Thrive walking away with last.
Tell me there's a chance. It's been the should have been the theme through last map. We're finally seeing it come to fruition. Twist also 4 kills last round. He's now 8 and 5. He's positive. Let's go Twist. Now, interestingly, we can actually go back to your point about the sites, right? Last time, round 3, they played Storage Control and they won. But instead, they opt to retry Command, where they are 0 for 2. I feel like that's a pretty questionable decision. You have not won this site yet. Wildcard have displayed a pretty fundamental understanding of how to attack here. And you've got 3 guys downstairs who are all going to now try and come up Aqua. Spiff somehow only goes 1 for 1. Now the Blitz comes into play. So does Kansan. It's 2 kills for the Finka. And Thrive are now in a 2 versus 4. What the hell was that?
Well, I mean, kind of speaking some truth there. Seems like Thrive might end up 0-3. Candle definitely does have something to say about it. The only full health member of this team has the Kiva barriers, has those mirror windows to fall back on, but Wildcard aren't in a rush here. A minute 30. We've got 4 drones. Candle does strike. He has pulled out some crazy clutches against fluffy aimers, and he can definitely do so, especially with Aimkey by his side. The ability for a trade, even if you end up losing the body, I think Candle is in a wonderful position to get things done.
I love this from Wildcard, though. Putting their other 2 members front side and have Rampy as the blitz push the back. Have the guns in one direction, but that looming threat of the shield from behind. But it looks like Wildcard now thinking better of it. We got Bosco just outside Aqua. It looks like Spiker might join him. Candle's going to try and get aggressive here. He does have a camera to watch that window, but instead, he's going to end up peeking out, is able to get one, but gets refragged! Bites off more than he can chew! And Aimkey now 1 and 7. Will have to get 2 more kills, but Spiker shuts him down as Aimkey gets intimidated by the blitz. Candle, 1 kill was not good enough for him, and Wildcard win the round because of it.
Could have been what could have been, Harrison. It is a gutsy play to go for that. In hindsight, I think he should have got both. Like he's got that millisecond of an advantage over those players. I think he hits that, bam. Thrive's got the round. They've got the lead. Instead, your prediction of, I guess not exactly a prediction, but just stating the facts that Thrive were 0-2 on that site, and then questioning whether they were right on going to server for a 3rd time was correct, because they definitely got to be kicking themselves, knowing that a potential storage room was around the corner, and they have to end this in the attack. They got some good attacks going. Same with the defense. They don't have a necessary advantage on either side, but it's still just on Wildcard. Wildcard has to make the mistake. Somebody on Thrive has to make the hero play. There's nothing consistent to rely on Thrive.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can say that he should have got both kills, but I think the moment that you don't, you gotta peel off and just play.
I will say,
play around the 1v2.
Split second, it felt like there was no time. It was instantaneous.
I don't know. He whiffed like half the med.
Maybe.
I think personally, me personally, hand on chest. Obviously, I suck at this game, but
you wouldn't have whiffed to begin with.
Real. I would have hit my damn shots. Anyway, I wouldn't have. Thrive, at the very least, right? This has been very back and forth map. They're still very much in this. We're back on the attacking side, which they went 2-1 on. So if the trend continues, we are looking at overtime. Wildcard, look at their roam. This is a very old style roam. Castle, Mozzie, Mute, Legion. Throwing the Solus for good luck. What do we like to call this feat? This is the SSG roam. But on Labs, Kansan, one of the 3 players not on the original SSG roster, ends up dying. Skunky kills Spiff as well. Twist is our first casualty for Thrive, but Wildcard have lost 2 bodies. They've lost 2 of those roamers pretty early on, only half the round so far. Losing Twist, sure, losing Twist sucks. Losing the Twitch, on the other hand, not so much. So Thrive, I'm sure, very happy about this opening exchange.
I mean, hands-in on Solus, who's got double digits, and Spiff as well, who seems to be on a tear in this game. Essentially leaving the frags in only Spiker's hands. It's good. I mean, you've got a way into the building. You've got a couple of kills, and players on the 2nd floor, but Skunky has absolutely no idea, so the rest of Thrive is scrambling to see if they can catch Rampy, who has just evacuated down to that basement site, and now we're in a 3v3. Execution around the corner, and Aimkey just springs that trap of Bosco, who lies in wait, and now Thrive have had a man count, and it's slowly been taken.
I mean, look at this. They still have the whole site to drone out, and they've only got 4 drones left. They only had 4 drones when they still had Skunky and Aimkey alive. The lack of info on these attacks has really punished them and allowed Wildcard to just sit in their spots and, like you mentioned, spring the traps. Candle does put us in a 2 versus 2. He is trying his damnedest to keep his team in the fight. Moses finally able to make his way through the building, and he's in the safe plant spot. He's in tuck. It's all up to Candle to cover in a 1 versus 2. C4 out, but it doesn't get shot in time, and it's just close enough to kill the planter. That will seal the deal and put Wildcard on match point.
It's another moment where it's just split-second crosshair improvement. The round changes. I mean, Candle at this point has got to be really kicking himself. And you're at a situation where you can't be doing that. The game is still absolutely in control. It's 4-6, only a 2-round difference. And there's a good chance that Wildcard are going to go up to the Serpent at this point. Thrive, advice is just take a breath. Had 2 rounds that have been very close due to individual performances. They don't actually go to server. They go to storage.
They did a good
Does
job.
have been here, I think, the ones, and that was a Thrive victory.
Yes.
There is a little bit of a bright spot here. As Thrive hints at the Blitz. I don't know if that's what you want at this stage in the game. Or is that all reliable surprise factor that Thrive do love to play on, but you've got 10 seconds left to have your final go at it, potentially the last round in Element.
This is probably going to be a blitz pick. Now, yeah, the caveat to losing last round is they also lost tank the first time and then took control and then servers as well. So they have won on the next 2 sites that are going to be played. But again, the difference is it being 1 round away from elimination just changes the whole landscape. It's a completely different mentality. Skunky trying to hide that shield. He's got it on his back. So we're going to see not a blitz like we normally see, right? Immediately, like through the window, into the bomb site, try to get that plant down, whatever. They're going to try and use him to clear instead.